Greetings, lads, from Kerry's homeland. It's been a great run. Matty, take the reins for next year. All right, boys. Later. Greetings.
Good evening, boys and girls. VJ and Gameday back for another one and the final one. Hampton, well, Shieldsy, first of all, thanks, mate. Great to hear from you, mate, and obviously all the other lads during the week with plenty of sort of talk through the chats and that. So we do appreciate it, boys and girls. Everything you guys have followed us on in the last sort of, 200 odd video. I was looking there today and 201 videos amongst episodes and small little stuff and whatever we've done over 6 years. So Hampton, mate, pretty happy with all that, mate. I'm pretty, you look back on a few things, mate, and obviously Bogan put a bit of a best of there together, mate. And, I shed a tear and cried a tear, definitely with laughter. Mate, she's all done.
Yeah, mate, she's been I don't know. If you had said 5 years ago we'd still be going in 5 years and 200 shows later, probably would have, I don't know. Never really thought, didn't really think too far ahead. We enjoyed it, mate. We had some fun. We met some great people along the way. Got a great little group there and worked Bogan to the bone, I reckon. But it's been good, mate. It's very I don't know what I'll be doing with me Tuesday nights in future. You got any ideas or what?
Mate, I haven't got a bloody clue. I really don't. I'll be tuning in to whoever takes our time slot, mate. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, Matty put out today, a league that he'll sort of have, and we'll obviously be invited into it. And graciously, I'm sure I'll accept, mate. I'm sure you will as well. But, mate, Supercoach will go on, and I think we'll play again next year, as I say. But, just Tuesday nights, mate, we'll find something else to do. But, mate, it's been great. Obviously, the show's definitely changed over the years, for good and for bad, I think, along the way. There's things where we've sort of created some great stuff, and obviously Bogan, with everything that he's done with the graphics, mate, and putting it all together has just made it better and better. So, I think we were sort of speaking off air there. We the golden years, mate. I think we're in the middle there when we sort of had the full, the full effort and the structure of the show.
Challenges, it was all happening.
Oh, mate, the challenges, the crystal ball, the predictions, everything like that. The trading floor, mate. Look, still my favourite part is the change places video of Future Armour. I thought that was fucking brilliant. So
yeah, no, it's been good. Shout out to everyone that's jumped on any time over the last few years. As I said, plenty in there at the moment already. Good evening. We've had plenty of good, sentiment come throughout the week, mate. And it's just been good to meet plenty of these blokes and go on this ride with you, bud. I think.
Oh, mate, look. I don't want to mention anyone in fear of forgetting someone. You know what I mean? But there's been plenty of blokes there sort of from the start, year one, and that sort of followed us to begin with. And then there's been guys who have jumped in along the way, and, no one's more or less worthy. It's just been awesome to have this crew and obviously everyone tuning in and watching us week after week, and, the banter and the talk and that through the chats, guys. We really appreciate it. It's everyone's sort of turned from viewers into mates, so. Yeah,
100%.
It's been awesome along the way. So really, really cool, good community, mate. And I'm sure we'll stay in touch with everyone. It just won't have the Tuesday night show to say good day to everyone.
Yeah, sounds good, brother.
Cheers
to that.
6 years, I thought we might have got a Bogan reveal, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I think that was the.
Come on, but there will be one video. I'm sure one day. The anonymity will go out the window one day. One day.
Well,
when that will be.
My understanding is that he'll be revealing his OnlyFans link at the end of the show. So, all the BJ followers that be wondering what if, what do we do with me Tuesday night? Well, Bogan's link, follow it'll be at the end of the show, and you might get a sneak peek.
There's no one looking, so it's all good.
Oh,
but all the videos are staying up, so no face reveal. Some of the things. There were some things as I was going through that clip package. It was supposed to be an intro, but then it got to 20 minutes long, and it's like, oh shit.
Hey, look, looking back at those challenges, I don't think you got the hot chip one in there, did you? I think it was the chilies from each of us, and did we do
I got off massively lightly.
Oh, mate, look, just me being stupid. Like, I love it. I love sort of what we were doing, and you know, the bets that you sort of lose, who gives a shit, mate? We all won. You know what I mean? Like, I look back, I was crying this morning. I started it this morning. Bogus sent it to me, and I started watching. I think I got probably through the first 5 or 10 minutes before I had to leave home, and I take the kids to school, and I'm listening to it in the car on the way to school, and my daughters are listening to it as well, and they're pissing themselves laughing, and mate, very, very good memories. So, I'll always regret not getting the cat food down. I'll always regret not getting the eggs down, but it was probably 6 minutes of TV that was great until it finished with me not fucking following through. But that's what the show sort of became, me fucking not turning up.
Fuck, the size of that spoon of Vegemite, I'd probably let you off. I totally forgot how much of that you packed on that.
Mate, it was funny watching it just smeared all over my teeth. And mate, I tell you, I cringed at the cat food still. Like, I felt it go back in my mouth again, mate. I was ready to spew, but even in the car this morning. So there you go.
Oh, and Bogues, we got to probably give you the floor, mate. You jumped on, what was it, after our first season, King? And
mate, honestly, I can't remember. I really
second season, whatever it was, and lifted the production value tenfold, mate. Your effort, your time and effort you put in every week is at least 1,000 times more than myself and King probably being generous. So, mate, thank you. And if anything you want to shout out last, maybe opportunity for a big rant, or perhaps the channel goes into more of a bogan rant direction. I don't know, but mate, it's been a pleasure and thank you.
No, well, thank you, fellas, for letting someone who has no idea how to fucking play Supercoach come along and try and put your show together.
Well, there was already 2 of us on that fucking boat, so you may as well join.
I
3.
did notice when I put the clip on from your first episode, King, you've got a bit thinner in all ways since that first episode, mate. You're a bit plumper, but a bit more on top.
Mate, I tell you what, I don't know about. Oh, actually, that's probably one of the things I enjoyed with that was looking at the fucking terrible hairstyles, and I'm not a good looking bloke, mate. I think the best look I had there was when I was fucking painted as the clown. I think that's the best I came up with.
Can we talk about the clown?
Yeah,
that was an off-show bet, the clown makeup, and part of the bet that you had to wear the clown makeup during the show, but you weren't allowed to mention that you're wearing clown makeup.
Correct.
And the thing is, no one watching mentioned it either.
No. They just came to expect it. I mean, this is the stupid part about this show. People came to expect that stupid bullshit from us, and look, that was hilarious. And I looked at that this morning. I thought I'm going to screen grab that, and I reckon that might have to become the Facebook profile pic for a little while.
Yeah, well, it's been used 1,000 times in thumbnails, so.
Yeah, absolutely. But
the legacy will live on when we're 6 foot under, King. People can come and look up BJ on game day and just go through the artifacts and enjoy.
They might be looking for some other kind of BJ, mate, but if they find us, they'll be in for a real treat, I'll tell you.
You might hit the 1,000 subscribers in 1,000 years, we'll see.
Mate, I'll tell you what, though, if Bogan does continue to use the channel, it's a good platform to start with because, mate, like I say, the viewers that we've got, the legendary blokes that have sort of followed us and tuned in, and no doubt out of the 580 odd subscribers, we've got 600 of them are fucking family, but at least fucking 20 or 30 of them are these blokes. So, appreciate it all the way, lads. Every week following and turning up, and it's been great. And like we say, we probably would have called it earlier in the year if it wasn't up for these guys just sort of wanted to get through the season, and for these diehards who follow us every week. So definitely a big cheers to you lads at home. So you guys all know who you are.
Cheers, boys. And another possible direction of the show might be trying to translate Shieldsy. Is another possible channel direction, Bogan, I was thinking.
I haven't
Shieldsy, brother, cheers for the message, mate. Like I said, we're international. We got Shieldsy in Ireland. We got New Zealanders. We're more widespread than the NRL. What can you say?
Marty's in Perth.
Marty's in Perth.
Mate, we're prime time for Marty. if he finishes work and he can drive home, listen to us. Like
6 o'clock.
I'm sure we don't see Marty
It'd
as
be
much as
6
we used
o'clock
to.
over there with the news. Welcome
Yeah,
to
we
the
are.
news. In today's news,
National Nine.
Surely just as
Who was
informative.
that bloke? Fucking Mahatma McCoy.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Bring back the footy show, all right?
Oh mate, the footy show is what I miss. I tell you what, mate, the Chili's, that's where it came from. We all saw it. We all watched it. That was what I wanted, mate. Everything that sort of I put this on for over the years, and approaching you about doing it with me, mate. All I thought about was the dickheads that they were, and mate, if Fatty Vorton could fucking host the show for 20 years or whatever it was, I figured we'd go all right as well. And mate, I reckon we've done pretty good. So there you go.
Shout out. Well done, mate.
But mate, Supercoach. Fuck. Let's enough of the frivolities. Last week, mate, how'd you go? Any grand finals?
No, I reckon I've dead set had my worst Supercoach year ever for head-to-heads, drafts, overall. Not overall. I mean that bad overall. Like I don't know, I'm still averaging fucking 1100 and something, but it just hasn't been enough this year, mate. So yeah, no draft grand finals, no head-to-head ones worth talking about. Yeah, it's all fucking very fitting that we're probably calling it this year because I'm fucking clearly got no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, look, 1300 for me, mate. It was a decent score. I went homes to Brimo with my last trade last week. So
did you crack 1300?
I just hit 1300 flat on the money. So
well done, mate.
I missed the captain, went with Fifi, who went off after 47 minutes, didn't come back on. So that sort of stung a bit. But 1300 was above par, jumped up 1700 spots to 6200, mate. I guess at this point I'll take a top 5K if I can. But mass restings this week, just the Panthers side alone. I haven't even looked at the team list, to be honest. We'll have a look at those shortly. But yeah, mass restings from what I'm hearing. And yeah, mate, look, if I finish top 5K, that'll have to do. Yeah?
Yeah, mate, just behind you last week, 1293, so couldn't quite get to the 1300 mark. But, mate, me Uber pod there 2 weeks ago, going my last trade to DCE to Benny Hunt hasn't exactly worked out.
Shit.
I captained him the week before, and on the weekend he scored 11, and I think with 20 minutes to go he was on -4. So I thought the Titans and the Tigers to finish the season, I thought he was a great pick, and he turned out to be anything but. But mate, Gutho's been huge for me, mate. I had a nice little sneaky pod there in Gutho, 159 last week. Got the week off to a flyer, mate. It was enough to see me get up in my single grand final that I had left. Nice little cashy for 500. So, mate, still in same one there. I'm 60 points behind in overall. The bloke actually outscored me by 60 last week. I was 1 point in front. So going into last week, and he scored a big 1360. Although it wasn't the bloke I played in the grand final, thank God. So I beat him the week before. But, mate, I think a couple of your cash comps that happily I've gotten in, entry fee free. Thanks to Lindsay Collins. But I don't know where
I'm squabbling over you about a fucking. I'm squabbling with you about. I'm saying he's a 55 average. You're wanting fucking 65. The cunt didn't average 40, did he? Fuck me,
mate. He's had a shocker, but no doubt that Roosters team are better when he's there. But he's just had a shocking season, Lindsay. He can't stay in the park. Mate, he's got more knocks to the head than fucking Muhammad Ali.
Fucking on my list. There's not many on my list, but he's fucking.
Mate, I'll tell you what. That's got to go. I'm going to miss the list. I'm going to miss the Liam Knight Award.
Aren't we all? Surely we're going to have to just run these random impromptu shows that drop an annual potential Liam Knight Award.
Mate, we've got to list. We'll do something. We're going to do a team reveal, are we?
This will be forgotten.
Nah. That's basically what I do. But anyway, here's what it is. Look, yeah, mate. I don't know. I've been happy with the season so far. Unfortunately, sort of crashed and burned towards the end a little bit. I'm sitting at about 2,500 or something like that. So, I can't see a big week finish from me this week. I think a lot of us have got sort of tough head-to-head battles and stuff. I think it could be a low-scoring week, I think.
Oh, I haven't even looked at my team. I just thought it'd be fitting to not fucking do any preparation this week. Yeah, look, mass restings. It'll be, a complete disarray for a lot of teams with just based on the penny lineup alone that I've seen. So Melbourne and Para obviously playing for a top 4 spot. That should be a cracker, but a few teams probably not needing to do too much. But Sea Panthers
Well,
are
Sunday
relatively
Arbor, mate,
strong.
mine and your boys, 2:00.
Yeah, I nearly was going to whiz off to that, and I thought, do I really want to drive 4.5 hours to watch Newcastle have fucking 50 put on?
I can send you my Cronulla jersey to wear, mate.
Maybe. But yeah, mate, it was
You wouldn't want to wear a blue and red one, do it? That's for sure.
Old Boys Day though at Newcastle, always an event I'd want to tick off.
Oh, do they turn up for Old Boys Day? Last time I think they got beat by 60.
Yeah, but all the pre-game.
Actually, I think Newcastle have more Old Boys Days than anyone else. I think they have about 4 a season, don't they? They must love their pits.
Well, fuck, I mean, we've got to try and look forward to something each couple times a year, don't we? But yeah, mate, it was a funny old round, some big scores again. Brilliant to see Brisbane capitulate as always. Looks like they've probably done themselves a mischief in missing the top 8 now. What a fall from grace that's been.
Yeah, but even now, thanks to the for and against change, the Raiders don't even have to win to make the 8. They can lose to the Dragons. They're 40 points ahead on for and against. No, who the Raiders playing? Broncos are playing the Dragons.
Mm.
Oh, Tigers, yeah. Anyway, move on. Chuck the teams up, Bo. Who we got first game of the week? Eels up against the Storm. Look, happily it just seems, mate, I had a look through the teams. I don't think there's too many restings other than Penrith, to be honest, mate. I think there's too much on the line for a lot of these teams with regards to, final season finishes and, home semi-finals where you sort of, it's either going to be these two teams that finish 4th and 5th. So I'm not sure. I reckon flip a coin, play this game 10 times over. I think you get, 5 wins each.
Yeah, what is it? The winner of this will be. Melbourne are a chance to be improved on 4th, but it's highly likely they stay 4th. Parramatta, obviously, they win, they go to 4th. So not a home final, but just that second chance on the line. It should be a cracker. I think it was Paris sort of hitting their straps maybe at the right time and probably similar with Melbourne. They're starting to put the sword to a few and flexing at the right time after a funny sort of 6 weeks or so, mate. So I think this will probably be one of the games of the round, if I'm not mistaken. I think the South's Chooks game will also be a cracker. And the interesting thing, I guess, in regards to the top 4 is Cronulla playing the last game of the round. The Cowboys will obviously play first. They'll need to win to give themselves any hope, and then hope the Knights, some alternate universe, can beat the Sharks.
Yep.
But yeah, maybe like you said, it's not as bad as I initially thought, but really unrecognisable Penrith side.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's got trades, but all the Parramatta boys absolutely smoked it last week, killed it. Lane, he's been a revelation. IPAP,
best
Guppo,
player. I think
Moses Brown, they've killed it.
Performances with regards to obviously, halfbacks and 5'8" and fullbacks in there. I think Sean Lane, definitely the last sort of 2/3 of the season, I reckon he's been the best player. What he started to do for that Eels side on that left-hand side, and we've seen glimpses of it in seasons past, but that combination that he's developed with Dylan Brown and Clint Gutherson, and how hard he is to tackle the offloads that are there, but the offloads that are just so effective in, almost every time creating a line break. I've just loved what I've seen from Sean Lane this year, and I think we sort of spoke about him in the preseason when we drafted him in one or two teams here or there. What were we going to expect? Which were we going to get the good Sean Lane or the bad? And mate, I think he's answered that well and truly this season. He's been awesome.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you would have been able to call it pre-season with Matto there. You obviously had Brown, who was in the pecking order playing a bit of lock. So
Yeah.
obviously that shift of Matto into the middle a bit more. Lane ended up cementing the 80 pretty early and probably went another 8 after a bit. But anyone that jumped early fucking reaped the massive rewards and probably had a great year just based on bringing him along, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And IPAP, mate, he's just been huge. Another 120 odd last week from him. I think he's had 5 ton-ups this year. He's just a workhorse, but he, you know, the funny thing is IPAP sort of plays 80 every week, but some of the best stuff he does is in the last 5 minutes of each half. He's really good for sort of junk points at the end of each half, just because he just gets a bullocking run or he goes over from dummy half or something, you know, and you know, he's been a great try scorer again this year. Don't think he's probably had as many this year as he did last year, but he's probably become more effective in his minutes. So, yeah, he's done quite well.
Mm.
For the Storm, mate, obviously, Munster, a bit of a poor game from him last week. Jerome Hughes had a cracker. I think a lot of people will be ruined Jerome Hughes being out for that couple of weeks. You know, people sort of went Cleary to him or thought about it, and then he was out, and it made it a little bit hard to get him. But I saw in 1 or 2 teams that had him last week. I think he downdated from 115 to 105, but still cracked a ton. So a good game for any owners of him last week. But yeah, Cam Munster, very, very quiet last week. So expect to see him bounce back this week. And I think the Eels get it done, mate. I think the Eels win this game. I think that they'll step up for it. But you never know with Craig Bellamy, what he's got up his sleeve.
Munster's very lucky not to be taking a break this week. Got a letter during the week.
Yeah, look, little elbow, a little bit of facial massage.
Some WWE style shit, that elbow.
Yeah.
Fuck. Based on what Big Nelson's gotten away with this season, fuck no, anyway, Melbourne's getting away with everything.
Look, I don't know what Belly's been doing, but yeah, he's teaching them some fucking rough stuff anyway. So there you go. Next game, boys. First game on the Friday night. And yeah, look, if you're driving home from work and you're running a little bit late, don't panic. You won't be missing much.
Put your $2 on the pool table.
The Sea Eagles, wow, how they've just capitulated. You can't even fucking blame the absence of Tommy Turbo. Like, they really haven't been missing anyone else in their team for the last fucking 12 weeks. And they've just got worse every week. Josh Schuster's probably had the worst season. He'd be, you know, one of the bombs of the season. He's gone from being borderline, you know, starting in that squad. You know, there was a lot of talk, obviously, where he would start, whether it's in the second row, whether he took the 6 spot from foreign, how they would sort of find him in there. Mate, he's lucky to be on the bench on form.
It's pretty interesting, isn't it? A bit of concern, like his motivation. I know there was a bit of media speculation earlier in the year about if he wasn't going to play 6, he was going elsewhere, and this and that. So, yeah, it's interesting, you know, insight into what he's like. And he obviously has been a bit out of shape. I know he's injured, and I fucking can't talk, that's for sure. But you know, I'm not getting paid a few $100,000 a year to play footy either. So yeah, I mean, like you said, there's no real excuse. You take Tommy Turbo out any side, and it's going to be noticeable, whether it's New South Wales, whether it's Manly, whatever. But the experience they had in the halves there with Foran and Cherry Evans and the forward pack with Ola and even Garrick while he was there was no reason why they shouldn't have made a push. And yeah, it's interesting whether, I don't know what you read into it with Des there or
but
what.
I just hope Schuster can sort of develop that mentally, you know, like you look at a guy like Latrell, right, and what sort of Latrell's done over the years and, you know, the bullshit and the fucking misdemeanors and whatever. He's gone away to the States to recover from an injury and he's put in more effort than I've ever seen him before in his career, and he's come back and, you know, he's just been absolutely killing it. Hopefully one day Schuster can do that as well. You know, you see it from a lot of athletes. You look at someone like Nick Kyrgios and sort of what he goes through, and, you know, a lot of these footy players have just got to, you know, learn to believe in themselves, but at the same stage have that sort of full-on dedication. You know, number 17 for the Bulldogs, Tavita Pangai, is probably a clear, you know, another example of exactly that, is just sort of not putting in the effort. At the end of the day, these are the best footy players in Australia and arguably in the world, just because we're the number one sort of country that plays it. And these guys just need to put in so much more effort to to be consistent.
Yeah, 100%. I think Schuster was the biggest disappointment. I think he's one of the most looking forward to young blokes, to watch this season, and he just didn't. It was almost like Dill Brown from your last season. So, look, we'll see. We'll see what happens. A bit of a nothing game on the Friday evening. KO Weeks has got some big raps on him as well, Kingy. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes at fullback for Manly this week. But yeah, not much on the line. Your Ola's even looking pretty disinterested. Cherry's you'd be knowing what Cherry's doing, obviously, but yeah, there's not a great deal doing.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, one player I do like to look up from the Dogs is that Aaron Shop. I love it. I think if he could find his way to sign for a good team, I just think he's got a lot of mongrel in him. I really, really like sort of what he does on the park. He has a crack. He's done a few brilliant try savers this year and things like that. And in attack, he looks good as well. I think he's a really, really a player probably over the next 2 or 3 seasons we can see develop. Similar kind of thing of what I felt about Herbie Farnworth and what he did at the Broncos over the last couple of years and how he's developed. So I reckon he's one to watch Shop. And I don't know anything about sort of his contract or where he sort of sits years-wise, but I'd like to see him in some different colours, that's for sure.
Sounds like a dog taking a big drink of water on a hot summer's day.
I mean, I reckon last year he passed the eye test a bit, King, but his base isn't too bad for a centre. Like, he could genuinely be a big breakout player next season with the Dogs going a bit better with kicks and Arnie likely to come there if they do.
The BJ boys there for next season. Aaron Shop, there you go.
Write it down, get ready. He's not going to be cheap, but, a bit of value maybe.
Yeah.
He's good.
Next game, folks, Friday night, 8 o'clock game. A little bit more enjoyable watching with this one. The Roosters up against the Rabbitohs. This is one you definitely want to make it home for because these two teams are going to go head-to-head and very much could face each other in the first round, of the finals.
Yeah, very much so. I think they don't have the 40 games really.
28 points at the moment.
Yeah. If Parramatta lose and stay fifth, the winner will jump them. So,
but the problem then is, if the Broncos win, then the loser goes back to 8th.
No, because Brisbane have got the worst for and against by far.
Brisbane will win behind now, are they?
So they're on 28 with Canberra behind South Chooks. Yeah.
So what? South Chooks on 30.
Yeah. So the best Brisbane can finish at 8th. The worst that it depends on the Raiders result, but for and against wise, I don't think the Raiders will be jumping South or Chooks regardless. So
these two can play again if Eels beat Melbourne.
Basically, is the scenario. If not, you're looking at probably Paraverse, the loser of South.
That could fucking create havoc. Let's say first game of the round, Eels win. How many of these guys then get rested?
Well, yeah, I think
you can't play. Home final doesn't matter to these teams, right?
Well, they're all playing in Sydney, regardless, basically, unless Melbourne lose.
Yeah. So if you don't have anything to play for, why are they naming their full teams?
It just depends on that Para game. You might see that there might be some restings if Para get up and they can't improve, but
because no doubt, those 3 teams. You got the Roosters, Rabbitohs, and Para. Let's say Para win. Well, then they can't finish 5th, right?
No, they'll finish 4th. Melbourne will stay 5th, and then
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
so if Para win, then these guys can't finish 5th. If Melbourne win, they'll want to finish 5th because then they play the Broncos, and the Broncos are playing terrible.
Or Canberra. It'll probably be Canberra.
My prediction then is if Para win, then you'll see half of both these sides rested.
Very potentially. I think you'll see Latrell probably. There's some chat about Latrell at the moment. He's in Taree, but then they're talking about Trelmitz. What did you say the other week? The Ferrari's just in the garage or whatever. So. Yeah, wait and see. This will be an interesting one. Again, there's plenty of people probably sweating on it. There's been some chat in the last couple of weeks about the Chooks resting blokes, a couple of weeks ago or whatever it was that never ended up coming to fruition. Toops has copped an injury. Got Momo there. Hutcho in the centres already. You got guys like Gildart and Aguama Adam Kieran on that extended bench. So it wouldn't surprise me if a couple names dropped out depending on the result of that, as you said, that Melbourne Para game.
I think the only thing that'll stop it is that it's not 24 hours beforehand, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically 24 hours.
So your result is inside that 24-hour period. So
Yeah.
you've got to do it first.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. But mate, from a Supercoach point of view, Tedesco's been solid again this year. I probably don't think he's been at his absolute best, but he's been a good player to have most of the time. He got some nice updates there last week. I think he ended up on about 59 after having a pretty quiet game. Joey Manu's been a dominant centre winger this year and probably a little bit more consistent than we've seen in previous years. Made the Suwali news, 10 million, 5 years. They do pay their wingers more in rugby union by far, so this doesn't really surprise me.
I mean, it's the best publicity the rugby union's had for a while, throwing 10 million at Suwali, so, you know. Oh, fucking.
Well, it's a Wallabies contract, mate.
So all the private
so basically
donors have come out?
In rugby union, you've got, so how in rugby league you just get paid game fees if you play for Australia. In rugby union, you've got a contract for whatever club you play for, but then you've got a contract that you play for the Wallabies as well. And the Wallabies contract is worth shitloads more. So they've got the money to
rugby
splash.
Union's so shit at the moment, though.
They basically reckon that the Roosters will probably have to pay him anywhere between 1.3 and 1.5 million a year to keep him, which is basically going to make him the highest paid player in the game, pending what happens to the
if he's a money driven. I mean, from what I've seen of him, I don't think he's money driven. I think he's success based, and whether he wants to try and turn the state of Australian rugby around and be responsible for that, I don't know. He played union, obviously coming through the juniors. Same with Sammy Walker. I mean, these kids are good union players. Come from good union schools, St. Joseph's or whatever it is. So you know.
I mean, the thing is, you look at union, and any rugby league winger that's gone to union over the years has just been brilliant, succeeded. You know, because the attacking ability that the league players have got is just so far above what the union can produce. But, you know, you look at Marika Korobetti and what he's done last week. He had a crack of a game for the Wallabies. And, mate, Marika fucking was basically outside your top 15 wingers for rugby league, you know, like, and he's gone there and dominated for the Wallabies. So Suwali would just kill it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, you'll have to wait and see. It will be interesting, though, to see what happens. I don't know
how much do you reckon,
what they're going to do there because he's not playing fullback for a while.
Marketability plays into it, though. Like, if Suwali stuck around for another couple of seasons in the NRL, made him...
Well, the problem is marketability doesn't exist in the NRL.
God,
like, you've got your salary cap.
But
that's the biggest issue. These guys can't go out and get their own endorsements.
I'm more thinking if he became a genuine household name superstar.
Oh, I mean, what does it help?
That union contract probably be even more.
Let's say he does. Let's say he forces his way into the Aussie team over the next 24 months. Let's say probably won't happen next season, but if he keeps developing,
it's
maybe
also
the season after.
Rugby League World Cup year.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Next year. Is it next year or is it this year? I fucking wouldn't know. Who knows? But then we've seen them come and try this shit before. They're going to take everyone. You know, it was Angus not long ago. It was, like I said, it won't be the last. But Uncle Nick will have his paper bags and, you know, Bondi houses and whatnot.
I mean, that's a blessing then if Nico does because, we don't want to lose this kid. I fucking... Yeah, big fan.
Love him. So, that's some headlines for the Union. Good to see. I think they beat the Springboks throughout the week as well, but you wouldn't know because fucking Suwali might be going there. But it's not just about the money. Evening, Kando. Just looking at the comments. Fucking what's doing.
Sorry. Well, my phone's... I don't have any comments. I ain't watching it.
Jackson Paulo off to the Chooks as well. Fucking talk about non-event of the year, but... anyway, this should be an interesting game and hinges on the result of that Melbourne Para game, as you said, King.
Who's the one that dropped 15 balls there a week or two ago?
JP, it was Paulo, yeah.
It wasn't
Oh, sorry.
I tell you what, I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to figure out who had the worst game of the season, him or that KL Iro for Cronulla last week against the Dogs.
Fuck, he wasn't that bad when I watched.
What? No, for the last sort of half an hour, he warmed into it, but
Did he? I
he
must
dropped
have
the
missed
first
it.
6 balls that he tried to catch.
Fuck, he looked real good when I was watching.
So,
It must have been the last 20 that I watched.
Yeah. Well, they were saying, I think, post-contact meters in New South Wales Cup, he's had like 500 more meters than any other player all year. So he makes a lot of the first tacklers miss.
No, he looked good. I thought, well, from what I saw, he looked pretty confident and
Yeah.
runs pretty hard, but obviously missed the start of the game, mate. But yeah, it should be a good one. Cam Murray's finishing the year pretty strong. Like, do you have any trades left? I don't know, but I still think even if some of these guys play and if it's a dead rubber, there's probably going to be some early showers and it'll be really interesting to see what happens. I think the Chooks are on a bit. Before I say this, did they win last week or? They won their last 7. I think the Chooks will want to take that into the final series with a big win over the Rabbits. I think it's a momentum thing. Robbo's got them humming.
Yeah.
One of the form teams up there with Cronulla. I know, Penrith have been missing some troops, but the Chooks are flying, and you probably don't want to, hiccup that momentum, mate. So it should be interesting to see what happens.
Mate,
I think a Melbourne win would be good.
I love the combination of Semi Verrills and Connor Watson. Semi Verrills is playing awesome, the footy that he's out there. And, mate, Connor Watson comes on for the last sort of 25, and he's just explosive, mate. He is really, really good against the sort of tired packs and such. So, mate, I think this one's definitely one in the forward pack. And, Tavita Tatola's been playing well. Tommy Burgess is playing well. Those two sort of big boppers up against, Jared Warrior and Matty Lodge. I think that goes a long way to win this game. But, mate, like I say, it could be a dead rubber. So watch this space. Saturday, 3 p.m, Bogues. What do we got? All right, next game. Look, mate, fucking
good on the Warriors for
David Fafita. How many minutes did he play last week?
47, King, and I fucking am dark about it because I would have had a good week if he even just come out and scored another 20 or 30 points. But
look,
fuck me.
I started the year with him, mate, and I got rid of him very, very quickly.
I can't get away from him. It's fucking the problem.
Kando, I think it was Kando in the chat, said someone like sort of asking who to pick, out of 2 blokes, who this and this. Pick whoever scares you not having him. Like Latrell every week scares the fuck out of me not having him. David Fafita scares the heck out of me not having him in my team. And thankfully Fafita has just not finished it off. I try here or there, but really all we've seen out of him this year as a max is around 80. He hasn't thrown out that 130, 140, which we know is there. Everyone fucking knows it's there. This bloke plays 80 minutes in a game. He could write that. They're talking about him being on 1.2 million, mate. He'd be worth fucking 2 million a season if this bloke had a crack for 80 minutes every week.
All he'd have to do is, if he just did enough to pump out, say, 50 in base each week, just did enough to get that activity, he'd be worth it. But he just doesn't. And I don't know if there was an injury. He was pretty strapped up around the knees. I didn't see if there was an injury or what happened there. I'm assuming there is because it's just come out of nowhere. He's played 80 basically the last 6 weeks. He played 77 a couple of weeks back, but fuck me. Anyway, that's what I get for captain in a team against the Knights, eh? But I did bring in Brimo. The last show, I'm fucking giving it myself a rap on that. Fucking Brimo.
Mate, look.
Fucking give me that.
Fucking AJ. I remember last year he was sort of coming in off a good season in 2020. And I started last year with him.
I remember in draft you went in a couple or one.
It was the worst fucking mistake I made.
He had a bludger.
He's so hard to get at the right time. Like, he's not someone you're going to keep for a whole season. You need to get him for those 4 or 6 games where he just goes on fire. And, the Titans just haven't been that this year. But, mate, huge trade, obviously, last week. What did he end up scoring? 120?
It was 137, I believe. It was
137. Massive.
And I've been talking about Tino for the last 8 weeks, so I'm giving myself a rap for that as well.
Why?
Well, he's gone 90 and then 109 last 2 weeks. I think his 80 minutes was at the expense of.
Did he play the week before?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, he missed Manly and then come back to the Saints for 90 and then 109 on the weekend. So, fuck me, what a call. You should have been listening to me. As
Is he in your
always.
team?
No, I had one trade left, cock, and I
Then
brought
what
in the
the
better.
fuck are you talking about? If he's not in your team, you're
I
talking shit.
brought the bloke in that scored 137 prick. What are you talking about?
Don't
Why would
care
I wait
about
till the
that.
109? That's fucking jump points.
Oh mate, I tell you what, I'm calling it. Call of the season.
Mm.
Call of the season. In the chat, Isaiah Yo's good for 90. Fucking bang, 90. I'm trying to figure out whose was better. Fucking Sabs on that fucking experience. Remember when he called Snyder for 76?
Yeah.
And I think he downgraded to 75.
Yeah,
he finished on 76 and downgraded to 75. I'm fucking Yo for 90. Bang. I think his is better. No one could have predicted fucking Brad Snyder scoring any fucking points this season. But anyway.
Come on, I put Brimmer on a 139 to win Clarkie our draft, and he pumps out a 137. Or no, it was a 137. He pumped out a 139. I'm fucking taking that
gotcha.
too.
Not bad. We're good. We are good.
Fucking, let's just
No
keep it
wonder
going,
we've
King.
had a show
Fuck
all
the
this
farewell
week.
show. Let's just roll it into next. We'll do a fucking post round 25 show at this rate.
I may have to disappear for 30 seconds. I can hear my kid crying out outside the door. Give me a sec, boys. Run through the next one, Hampton.
Fuck the Titans. On to the next one.
What do you fucking do?
Second game on the Saturday, another blockbuster. Look, you could argue that Brisbane will be playing for something. They won't know the result of the Canberra game, which will have the bearing on whether they make it or not. Canberra playing the last game of the round, but Brisbane will need a win to give themselves any hope. They've fallen off an absolute cliff, Bogues. I don't think there's much hope. Any fans that have watched them as a non-fan,
fucking glorious, isn't it?
It's really good to see. I'm sure we don't have much of a following from Brisbane fans, given the feeding they cop here. Yeah, they need to win. Brisbane need to win, and the Dragons can ruin it. But Adam Reynolds has been named despite his early concussion last week. He missed the rest of the game. Paddy Carrigan returns at lock, and Cobbo's back as well. Gamble comes in for Mam, which is interesting. I think all these restings will hurt people, but Mam was someone that probably a few people were running in that either halfback or 5'8" spot. There's a bit of a sit and start, and Mam will not be playing this week for the Broncos at this point in time.
What happened to Mam?
He's in the extended bench, so unless there's a change to that extended bench, Mam will not be playing this week, but keep an eye on the team list. I don't know. There's a bit of interesting stuff coming out.
Trouble in the back sheds, I hear, at Broncos.
So, Cobbo's back and
is he one of the young fellas who didn't like getting sprayed?
I think Renoff give him a bit of a feeding as well throughout the week in Twitter as well. Old Stevie Renoff.
Oh, the Pearl.
Telling them all to man up and pull their fingers out and they're being soft or something to that effect. Yeah.
Fair enough.
How can you go from where you were for the first 16 weeks of the comp to now this? It's shocking.
Yeah, it's a capitulation, that's for sure. It's similar. He's out the door, mate. There's some strong rumours that he's off to Melbourne.
Really?
Could you imagine him there? Could you imagine Haas at Melbourne?
Fucking hell.
He's got a bit of Jesse Bromwich about him. He just looks soft lately.
Surely they got a bit of... I don't know, actually. Just re-sign the entire spine.
He's like that, playing juniors and stuff. He's like that kid in under 10s or under 12s who's 3 times the size of everyone, but doesn't want to hurt any cunt, so he fucking runs soft. That's what Payne Haas is. Like, he needs to...
If you had the aggression of a Radley...
If Fafita wants to run, he runs through everyone, Like, Haas has got to do the same.
So if you had the aggression of a Radley in the body of the Haas or that...
Yeah.
What a player. Must win for the Bronx to give themselves any hope. Will depend on that Raiders game following on Sunday. But
Gun the Dragons.
Yeah, a few changes on the Dragons side. Sloan comes onto the wing. There's probably some other shit happening. But
he was there last week, mate, wasn't he?
I don't think he was on the wing. Was he on the wing last week?
Yeah, he played. He was a late call up last week. I'm pretty sure.
Onto the wing.
Yeah.
Fuck, really? Fucking who cares? Who fucking cares, really?
Oh, mate, it's the fucking Dragons. No one, you wouldn't have any of them in your side, would you?
I
Fuck Ben.
Lomax, maybe fucking Ben Hunt. Ben Hunt. I'm sure the Dragons will be happy to spoil that party, so it'd be nice to see the Dragons roll them. Yep.
I need to be smart about this because potentially, give or take, $500 to $1,000 on the line to pick up with overall stuff. I really feel like captain Ben Hunt because he's just fucking pissed me off the last 2 weeks. But anyway, I don't know. The Broncos have been bad, and I think the Dragons can win this one.
Old club probably wants to make one last good performance to try and give himself the best opportunity at winning that Dally M, which I don't know, in a season that's had plenty of injuries and guys not really stepping up consistently throughout the season. It appears as though Ben Hunt's in the box seat, but maybe one big one to finish. Oh, that's the mail, folks.
That's the talk, mate. Yeah.
Ben Hunt
who
for a Dally M.
else?
The Dally M in a fucking team that's so fucking shit.
Well, that's exactly why, because you stand out, because the rest of the players are shit.
Regardless, because your teammates are fucking awful.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Apart from when the Moan scored the hat-trick. So, yeah, look, fuck, there's not much worse. If this is it, King, last round, throw caution to the wind.
Yeah. Next game, folks.
Oh, what a game this would usually be. Not this week, though.
You know.
Panthers are scared, if you ask me.
I'll be honest, looking through that Panthers side, right, it's going to, they're probably going to get tailed up. Call me crazy, I could still see him winning this game. I think Cows could come out just a little bit complacent about it.
No. Last game of the season at home.
Because if they win and the Sharks lose, they earn a top 2 spot. They can't be complacent.
Yeah, but we're playing Newcastle, mate.
Yeah, but fuck, mate, it's old boys' day. We'll fuck you up on
the Newcastle.
The only way Newcastle's gonna win it on old blokes' day. Get the old blokes to run out. Keith runs out. And,
yeah. Mate, they'll go better.
Keith runs out, and the Johns boys.
We'll have to We'll have to put something on it, King. It's pretty fitting, right?
Kalen Ponga got a glory hole in like the away sheds. Maybe a couple of the Cronulla players will stay in the sheds or something for that. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, Capewell's already fucking left, hasn't he? He was at the Sharks at one point.
Move on, boys. Next game. There's not much to say about this one.
Apart from the 13 restings of the Panthers, but yeah.
No, fuck, mate. Everyone knows it. We've got 12 blokes who watch the show.
But they won't know unless we tell them. They're not going to know the information unless we relay it. That's the reason they tune in every week. Do you not understand how this works?
Taylor and May, and they start fucking kick out, and they start all the Panthers.
We've got 12 blokes watching the show.
This is why they tune in.
They're going to be playing for the Panthers this weekend. They're the replacements. Yeah. With Big Ted, he's going to suit up as a prop.
Big Ted.
I want to see Shano take the reins. Maybe they can get Shano to fucking coach the side for the week. Give Ivan the week off as well. Shano would love that.
Shout out to Big Ted King. He's another one. He's we didn't name names, but Big Ted managed to catch up with him earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Go and watch a game at Parramatta at Combank Stadium. So
mate, it's been great having Jeff host a couple of times this year as well, which is good.
The bloke dead set needs to show on primetime television.
He's a bit of passion in the old Big Ted, which is good to see.
Just love you, Big Ted.
Mate, for the Knights, Mapa Malangi, is he all right?
Plus the eye test, I reckon. There's always these young blokes that have got raps coming through, but he's been all right. He got showed up a couple of times on the weekend defensively, but
who'd you beat last week?
We lost to the Titans.
Sorry, mate. Matty Croker, he goes all right. How is your team so shit?
Oh, fuck. We're probably looking better here than when Ponga plays, but yeah, I don't know.
But I tell you what, though, if they can put a petition in to play 12 men each week, you looked all right against 12 men last week. Maybe that'll work.
I'll pay that. Once the Titans dropped to 12, we looked real good actually.
You did
We
look
looked real
really
good on the right. Gagai made 1,000 line breaks.
mate.
Yeah.
Gagai had 400 line breaks. It was fucking brilliant.
There's something in that. I think if there's some way we can get a Sharkies player off early, you know, voluntary spear
how
tackle or
many
something.
HIAs would you need?
Who's
5?
like? I reckon you could get Royce Hunt to react. I reckon if Clemmer can get into a bit of Royce Hunt and get him to throw one, take one on the chin, don't fight back. I reckon you could get rid of Royce Hunt after about 7 minutes, and you might be a chance to lose by 40 after that.
I think Phoenix Crossland should be the sacrificial lamb. Anyway, look, it'll be an absolute towel up. Play all your Sharks players. You know, even Talakai, who's fuck me. I reckon he's been one of my worst buys of the season. I'm of course miss him when he scores 140,000 by half time, whenever, but I don't think he's scored that combined in the entire time I've held the fuck.
I've said it for a long time, mate. I've said you do not want to own anyone in the Sharks team except Nico. Mulatalo's had his games. Ramian, same thing. Talakai's been okay. Nakora's been good here or there. McInnes as well, but
you just fucking nailed half the side, mate.
Mate, but this is the thing, right? For people who talk about Cronulla being hogs or 5 or 6 players being hogs, like they spread around the fucking points really, really well. So I don't know what people are on about, but mate, even Matty Moylan's looked good lately. He's setting up a few tries and things like that. There's a couple of tries there he set up. I think he set up one for Nico last week, and I was spewing because for Nakora, because Nico's the one that does that every week, and Matty stepped in there. So, I don't want to see any other Cronulla players in my team except for Nico Hines. So, there you go.
Yeah, look, not a great way to end the season for us, but you know the bar's low. If the least we can do is take Nico Hines out for 4 to 6, then so be it.
There you go. There you go. And the final game, Raiders and the Tigers. The milk, up the milk.
Hey, I like the little touch there, Bogan.
What do we got? Pretty standard 2 teams. Mate, this Tommy Freeban, I like him. He looks good. Like I said, your last couple of weeks, mate, Diaz, Pole on the bench, they're the 2 best-looking fucking players for the West Tigers. Dewey had a cracker there last week, mate. He finally stepped up for me.
Yeah, I sat Sawali and Manu, and then found out Cook was out, which fucked me. But I sat Manu and Sawali to be able to play Dewey and Ronnie. So, I got fucking extra 10 points out of that, which ended up being genius. But yeah, he was all right. He was pretty good. The draw wasn't bad for him to finish. Hopefully they can just try and ruin the Raiders season and show up like they did against Brisbane and the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago, back to back, about a month ago, whatever it is.
Still a chance to dodge the spoon.
You know. I think the odds on. What do we got here?
I think for and against.
If Titans win against the Warriors, was it? I don't.
But I think the Tigers are like 80 points behind on for and against anyway.
Yeah, you're right. It's highly unlikely there'd be $1 for the spoon.
Yeah.
Or $1.005.
The haircut of Corey Horsburgh, mate.
I didn't catch it.
Fucking bald.
Jesus.
He's not a ranger anymore, that's for sure.
Going.
No, that's gone as well. Mate, it dead set looked like fucking a baby running around on a 6-foot man's body.
The fully grown baby.
Hell. Yeah.
King, you give, we talked a bit about who finishes 5th, where it looks like a Melbourne or a Para or a Chooks or a South. You give the Raiders any chance of beating one of those sides first week of finals?
Look, I think the one thing that the Raiders got on their side is that this year they've beaten 4 or 5 of the teams in the top 8. I think they're probably circumstances under those. They've beaten Cronulla twice, but to be honest, I don't really rate Cronulla as one of the top 4 teams in the comp. I think we've just sort of had a softer draw and won on the right weeks where some others haven't. they've got over. I think they've got over the Roosters and Melbourne. Look, realistically, no. I think that there's a few players that have started to step up. The Tarpanay's, the Youngs. Elliott's been solid. Jackie Whiten has his great weeks and some of his average weeks. Fogarty's been solid, but I really think they miss that number 9 spot to be a really exceptional number 9 that some of the other teams have got. I just, between Wolford and Starling, I just don't think there's enough threat there. And the back line as well for the Raiders, I just think lacks a little bit of punch sometimes. So yeah, mate, I reckon they hold on to 8th. I reckon they beat the West Tigers. So I don't think it matters whether the Broncos win or not. But I think whether they play the Eels, the Roosters, Melbourne, Rabbitohs first week, I think we see Raiders out after week 1.
Tell you what, there's nothing like death taxes and Jack Whiten kicking a ball out on the full each week either. Fuck.
Oh, mate.
He's
Guaranteed.
Only Dooley. Anyway, yeah, I agree. I don't think Raiders go past week 1.
Yeah. But I'd like to see him there instead of the Broncos. So
Agreed.
That's it. Oh, fuck. Hang on, Bones. We've got the fucking league. Have a go. Have you got the crystal ball or the trading places,
no, I
mate?
don't, unfortunately.
No, we've got no trades left. What's this one? This is the group?
So, Toby's Troops currently sitting in
Toby?
17th overall. So,
Vaughan. Fuck, Vaughan's had a good year. We seem to mention his name every now and then. It's a fucking very creative name of his team.
Pink's Torpies guy, he's sitting in 80th overall. Philip with the Boston Broncos sitting in 97th position. And the Stratty Highlanders, James, sitting in 115th, probably hoping that he can get up into the top 100 in the last round. But yeah, I don't think anyone's getting Toby in the last week.
Shout out to the Kuma Cox, sitting in 333rd. Elite Throbbery, Damo as well. I feel Gould. Plenty of guys ranked awesome there. Well done.
Very good. What do we got here?
Results from last week, the finals.
These are the 3 leagues, right?
And up
4
the
leagues,
top,
gotcha.
obviously. Premiership.
Shano, the final winner of the BJ and Gameday draft day. There you go.
Well done.
Shano getting up a Benny. Well done.
Was it the greater of two evils? I don't know. Look, Footy lost A-Ray early. It looked like he was messaging me absolutely distraught. He's thought, I've thrown it away. I don't know what to do here. What should I do? I said, mate, just stick strong. Back yourself. You'll be right. He's finished strong. Benny's had an absolute bludger in that Sharks game. He's filthy on the Sharks. He's had about 30,000 of their players, and it didn't really work out for poor old Benny. And big finish from Shannon.
I think Greggy Moju and all his tackle busts, mate. He got it done.
And ironically, I mean, he didn't. He gave me plenty of shit throughout the year, old Benny, about having Cleary and Hughes, despite the shit he copped. And mate, where was fucking Hughes when you needed him? That 105 or whatever could probably come in handy this week. And Greggy Marzu, ironically enough, in the side for Footy, that probably got him home.
The ex-Eel.
Probably got Shano home in the end with the big 89 or whatever it was to finish. So, yeah, she's a cruel old mistress, the old Supercoach at times. And look, Footy's putting it in the man cave. He's told me he's already got a spot reserved there. He's getting a little plaque made up and everything. So, congrats, Footy, mate. It was great to see you two battle it out. Couldn't have gone to a better place.
Mate, I tell you what, when those twins grow up, mate, you'll be able to tell them the story of the BJ and Gameday boys, mate.
That's it.
Maybe one day they'll be able to watch the show.
Shout out to Benny and Shano, though, massive followers of the show from pretty early on as well, Kingy. So shout out, boys. Thanks for all your support. And two of our big contributors in our chats and that as well. So cheers, boys, and well done on a good draft season.
And mate, probably one of the most well known in Supercoach circles, even away from our show, mate. This bloke's had a name all over Facebook for many, many years. Adrianosaurus Rex. Ados, he supported our show, mate, and now he's got a couple of his own out there with regards to Supercoach by Adrianosaurus. Absolutely cracking show for anyone out there who obviously listens to it on a Sunday night after the last. He gets his rant on, he gets the beers on. Graciously, I do appreciate him, having me at his place that one night we did the show there, and that was an absolute cracker to meet him and his missus, and absolutely wonderful people. So good to see Ados get the win there in the BJ League. He got over Brad and Elite Throbbery. Sad to see, mate. Our scores would have won this week, but alas, we weren't there from the start of the season.
Only took 24 rounds for me.
Damo, I feel good. Very, very nice. Got over Jared Workacardi quite convincingly. Not too sure what happened to Jared's team there, but bit of a shocker. And Polly's Pocket Rockets, Bogan, mate. Whose team is it? What's his name? Riley. Riley was fucking killing it. He's had an absolute crap. I reckon he would have jumped up 10,000 spots over the finals, and then he's saved his worst for the grand final because something Wong and Bert and something Wong as well and truly.
That's surely Bogan's burner.
I'd be crowing. I would have already changed the shield to.
Well done. Congratulations, head-to-head winners. Some good scores in there. Congratulations.
That's it. We got something more? No. We're done.
Anyone in the chat?
Fuck.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Gone.
Is there anyone still there?
Kano's there.
Fuck, 13.
We've got 15 at the moment. So more than we've had for most of the show. I think everyone else has popped in after watching another show.
Shano does that Fig Jam show.
No, I think they're calling it Stumps as well, is what I believe. He messaged me earlier saying he was going to be late, or he messaged the chat saying possibly shooting last Fig Jam as well.
We've got Oman
right, okay.
at the same time as well. He can get fucked.
He fucking probably has 1,000 times the amount of viewers we do, but anyway. Gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure. Hampton, thanks for coming on all those years ago, mate.
No, mate, likewise, mate. It's been a pleasure.
Bogan, mate, you've done an absolutely fucking cracking job putting up with us every week and doing everything you do, mate. So, Bogan, give it a shout out again. You'll be working with Kendo for a little bit, mate.
Well, I did offer to help them set up that for the Supercoach hub, but they're going off on their own way. So it's like, I'm on the sideline if they need any advice. But I'm going back to. Well, as I said, if I do put anything up on the BJ channel, it will be sports related. So.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of sports related, Kendo will like this if he's still watching. I'm playing a little bit of golf tomorrow, Kendo, with some bloke named Ryan Harris. So,
who the fuck's Ryan Harris?
Right, isn't that bloke's name? I think that's him.
Ryan Harris?
You know, the Australian cricketer?
No, isn't it something else, Harris? Is it Ryan Harris? I thought it was.
I don't know. Did they play cricket
Shane
in
Harris?
The fucking early to mid 90s?
Yeah.
If it was Matt Hayden, I'd know who you're
Ryan
talking
Harris
about.
is.
Ryan Harris, some fucking gun.
The one that played Test cricket in the last 10 years. Oh, yeah, it is Ryan. Sorry, I thought it was Shane. So I got Shane on the brain.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, what?
Oh no, Kendo loves his cricket. So
bit of skins.
Oh, and check out
what's that?
What's
and check out the Supercoach hub.
Mate, we've got corporate day, BMW Golf Day for our dealership. So,
sharing a cart.
Yeah. Oh, no, not with him. Fuck that. I fucking can't get too close to him, mate. I'll get fucking, celebrity fever. I'll have to ask him whether he watches the show.
And
Send him a link.
Mate, have you seen me?
See if he wants to fucking bankroll us with the funding.
Yeah.
check out the Supercoach Hub. They'll be getting into the BBL fantasy as that gets closer.
That's the Brazilian
that's
butt
right.
lift channel.
They're into it.
Shout out to everyone. Maddie, we got the Triple SC, which will be, I think, the Supercoach Asylum, and Maddie's also said, Bogues, you're welcome to help out on their show.
I like this, mate. I like the Asylum. I like the Supercoach Asylum.
I do.
That's a good name. That's a good name. Matty, we'll jump on board anytime you need us, mate.
Yeah, I don't think I can go week to week. As I said, I'll be looking more, if I do make any YouTube content, to make edited content. I was actually having a bit of fun.
Mate, I think that's what it's all about. I mean, this has always been great. You start the season off hot, and there's obviously a lot of viewers, a lot of interest, but you get about 10 weeks into the season, and it just sort of fizzled out, except for your degenerates like us. So I think that's the hard part, is the week in, week out, every Tuesday night. Not that we do turn up, or I don't turn up most of the fucking time. But
Benny in the chats when it's NFL season. Fuck that Seppo shit.
Nah, Bogan, mate, you'd be on your own. Yeah,
fuck that
loves it,
shit.
mate.
Showboat and fucking pads and helmet, fucking pussy ass fuckers. No, fuck that.
Mate, I love nothing more on a Friday on my day off, mate. Thursday night football in the States. Sit down and watch it every morning at fucking 10 a.m. on a Friday, mate.
No,
it's
fuck
gold.
That shit.
Shano's asked, is Bogan keen on NFL? I reckon he sent that message before that little outburst there.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
No, but shout out to all the boys in the chat, everyone that's doing things content-wise, good stuff. Kendo on the hub, Matty in the SCCC, Rapanorama, they're all here. It's sad. We'll still have the BJ chat, I guess. Keep going, Kingy.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we'll keep it. I'll remove myself from the group tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, mate. We'll keep it going. And anyone who wants to, boys, add us on fucking Facebook. I don't think I've sort of, got any of you individually on Facebook, but by all means, lads, you're mates now. Add us on Facebook and hit me up anytime you like, privately on DM message or whatever.
But back to being my burner account if I get banned off my regular. So look forward to that.
Nice. Does that happen often, Bo? You ran often on there and get banned?
No. I've had a few.
I thought you couldn't get banned on Twitter.
You could definitely get banned on Twitter very easily, actually. But
so what's the least censored one out there, or what's the least politically correct one?
4chan?
Huh?
But that's just image posting. Like you don't have an account.
Oh, I don't know what that one is.
Just anonymous. But
yeah, right. What's it called? 4chan.
Chan, like CHAN.
Right.
Like the number 4 and then Jackie Chan.
But
4chan. Right.
Yeah, I don't know if there'll be
old for
much
this
on the at BJ on Gameday show account from now on. But if I do get banned from my regular Twitter, it'll fire back up again.
It might increase then. Yeah, there you go. All right, boys and girls. Well, I'm done. Yeah.
It's the end of an era.
It is. Shit. Not sad at all.
It is one of those bittersweet things where it's just like, yeah, it's sad the show's wrapping up, but fuck, I'm gonna be glad to have my Tuesday nights back, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Although the other 6 nights of the week I'm fucking bored anyway. So
yeah, but and that's always been the problem though, because you have a very brief window to do a Supercoach show, with the team list come out, and then on Thursday they fucking play. So you sort of
Tuesday nights or Wednesday nights.
Wednesday nights you generally have viewers drop off because they've already made their trades as soon as the team lists have come out. So
yeah,
as I said, this weekend? Andy Ruiz? Is Waddle
Yeah,
out?
Luis Ortiz. Yeah, I just think Andy will just be a little bit too good, mate. I think he'll take care of it. I think interesting, obviously, to watch the Anthony Joshua and Usyk fight there last week as well.
How's the
Usyk
brain
was-
fade on Joshua? What's doing?
Oh, mate.
He's absolutely lost the plot in there.
These blokes put so much pressure on themselves to be the best in the world, and yeah,
It got to him in the end.
it's one of those things, mate.
It's a good
lot
fight.
of people, when you get in a ring and you spend 12 rounds in there, you don't necessarily know you've been beat. You know, especially if it's a close fight. Yeah, there's no measurement like Supercoach with regards to something you can watch as you go. You know, like you're in there for 12 rounds, you give it your all. You know, the first thing you know where you get beat is, you know, when those sort of judges' scorecards go the other way. So
There you go, King. There you go, King.
Yeah, I can empathise, but yeah, he lost the plot afterwards. Yeah, you can definitely lose gracefully, and he didn't do that. So yeah,
Supercoach boxing. There's an idea for you.
Supercoach
You have a
boxing.
stable
Oh,
boxers.
I don't think we can keep up with the scoring, mate. Jesus.
What do you reckon happens to the trajectory of Anthony Joshua now? Does he ever
Yeah.
become a world champion
No,
again,
he
or is he
will.
done?
He's still
No,
young.
and to be honest, mate, like
He's what, 32 now, is he, or something like
No,
that?
no, he's
Yes.
younger than that.
No, he's old. He's older than me, isn't he?
no,
No,
you're,
he's
you're
not.
an old
I
fella.
thought he
mate.
was
How old
older
are
than me. I'm
That's what you've done,
31.
mate. It's over.
I thought he was older than me.
Oh,
I'm sure he was older than me.
Tyson's only 32, 33. He
Yeah,
looks
he's not. He's a
60.
couple of years older than me as well. He's always looked 40.
Yeah.
Hard living man.
But I'm more interested to see whether Tyson will come
Well,
back. Mate.
Usyk came out and said
you lost
it's Tyson Fury or no one.
Oh, as he should.
So
As he
he
should.
might hang up the gloves as well, which would be a shame because Usyk versus Fury would be the funniest build ever in history because those two
Yeah.
blokes are hilarious.
Yeah.
Usyk's a funny
Yeah.
bugger too, isn't he?
He is very feel.
He's a weapon.
He is very feel.
But I think look, obviously Usyk, mate, with all the shit going on in the Ukraine, you can't blame him if he'd hang it up. If Fury didn't come out and fight him, regardless of the amount of money, fuck, that doesn't matter. Yeah, he should hang it up, and I think he can do far more away from the ring.
Anyways,
Anyway,
you want to say
We'll
your
drag
line,
it on
Brent,
to the
and we can
people.
finish up?
Thank you all, gentlemen. Huh? A line? Oh, may the Supercoach
that's the
gods be
one.
kind. And
rise to the top.
don't worry about
what
telling
is it?
anyone to
Form
subscribe.
is temporary, class is per. What did
That's
you say?
it. Form is temporary, class is permanent.
Yes, there it is.
It's my
There's the
favourite, that one.
All right, good night,
Yeah.
boys and girls. Thank you very much for joining us. BJ and Gameday signing out.